Moo and good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Pink Tron. I am Brent Robinson, and I'm joined today by let's start with Stevichan. Steph, what are you drinking?
I'm having some Pepsi lemon flavored Pepsi Max. I think it is zero sugar. Still some lemon taste, although with the cola, it's always less pronounced.
Just need a little extra caffeine with your lemon flavored night. You gotta stay up for Pink Tron.
Nope, nope.
All right, we've also got Steve Pritchard. Steve, what are you drinking? And then we'll have to ask what Jack's drinking next.
Jack's on the boob milk at the
Halfway.
moment. It's well, I say freshly milked today from Harriet. Um, and I have got a can of Sub-Zero, which has got a really funky design on the can, which is a alcohol-free light and hazy cider. It's
Very
actually
cool.
really good. Most ciders I've had taste like cat's piss. This one's actually really nice.
Very good. Not cat piss. That's a high bar. All right, we've also got Sean Fogenberg. Sean, what are you drinking?
Uh, Kind of like last week, I've got a Modelo Especial with lime and salt.
Tasty, tasty. And we've also got John Keenan. John, what are you drinking?
Drinking wise, I've just got some fizzy water, but my bride was at a local flower and garden show this week, and she brought me this thing that looks like a brain as far as I can tell, but is evidently a lion's mane mushroom.
Oh, when you
This,
held it at
this,
certain angles, it looked kind of like Sweden.
yeah, a little bit, yeah, like sort of like that, yeah. So I guess that's dinner tonight. I don't know. We'll see.
I feel to explain the in joke there, just people direct yourself to the €1 coin and what Sweden looks like on that, and you'll now know what John's mushroom looks like as well.
Yeah.
We'll put it in the comments so everyone can see it. All right, and I have a zero alc Gila Sunrise mocktail thing from Makwa President's Choice. Anyway, it's quite tasty. We got these in the local grocery store. They're good. I always love that it's like the ingredients are carbonated water, natural flavor, ascorbic acid, which I think is preservative, concentrated black carrot juice, which sounds delicious, and
Where do
then
they
beta
find that?
carotene. I have no idea. But it tastes like a tequila sunrise without booze. So good enough. Good enough. Um, Boy, I'm struggling to think of what we're gonna segue from that into.
Steph looks like he's staring very hard at the ingredients of his Pepsi Max, like he's found something worrying later
Per-
on in the ingredients.
Is there black
Perhaps in
carrot?
Welsh. Maybe it's written in Welsh. Is that the problem?
Yeah, that's just it. Yeah, let's. And speaking of things that are written in Welsh, this week's HWR is on. Um,
Let's go with Sean. You do it. You have the best
yeah,
pronunciation of it.
are we all gonna try and butcher it one at a time?
Tair dringfa fechan.
Here, Dringwa Pecan Han. There you go. Um, that is HWR this week's course. This is the one that was the ZRL round two design contest winner. And it's
Which was
20.
fun to race in ZRL.
It was very fun.
Based
Yeah.
on Craig's account of race one, it was less fun to race in HWR.
Yeah, I suspect it's pretty hard with the fast guys, especially because it goes quite early into, let's see, it starts downtown and then goes through the ocean stuff, but then it does the start of Epic forward up onto the bypass, and then across the bypass and down through the Italian villas over to KOM reverse, hilly KOM reverse.
But then you take the left turn and do the last half of KOM forward, making
Oh yeah, right.
making the hilly reverse even worse somehow. Like,
Right. That's where I got dropped too. I remember that.
yeah, That was a big cut point in the race I was in.
Yep. And then back down through the inside of the volcano, and then through downtown and up to Titan's Reverse, right? That's the Titan's Reverse finish. And finishing at the top of Titan's Reverse,
Finishing at the banner.
which is where I got dropped in race 6 this year, is at Titan's Reverse. Anyway, yeah, so just lots of 1 to 2 minute, maybe 3 minutes to get up the start of Epic, but
It might be close to 5 for a lot of people, like that effort, and then it is an extended effort because of the little push out of Ocean Boulevard as well.
Mm.
that's right. And you got to get across the bridge, and then it is the downhill direction on the bypass. At least I'll at least give it that, because I remember I think that's how I survived that, is it was downhill, and I could hold the wheels on the bypass. Um, yeah, Craig said it's very hard. What are we looking at for times here? 31.5K. So you're
The
looking.
winners in race 1 did it around 44 minutes. Craig was at 2.7 watts a kilo for 54 minutes. So the kind of higher mid high C's are going to be in the mid, like low to mid 50s.
Yeah, and if you're down the D's, you probably want to book yourself an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we say the winners, I mean they are absolute smashville, those guys who are winning these things. Averaging over 4 for the race to be in the front group.
And the 5 minute power is going to be in the high fives.
Yeah, a few mid fives in the front group probably,
Yeah.
but yeah. Yeah. So, ouch.
Seems also was following the stream that Craig had. I think he has controllers, but they were losing connection in and out. And I had the same thing with the Zwift Ride while I was doing with a Bluetooth adapter at the back of my PC. But luckily now that I switched over to pairing with my phone and companion app, I got that at least resolved because
That's good. What and
look,
then oops, sorry, go ahead, Seth.
that that was about to say because it looks like you're drunk because when it disconnects, it's yeah, it does a motion with the camera, so it's a weird thing, and if it happens constantly, it's not a fun place to look at the screen how it happens. But yeah,
So, am I reading Zwift Power right? There were 92 people in game, but only 40. Is that what that
I
92?
think
43 on Zwift Power?
88 around just under 90. Yeah, so on Craig's stream in game or that started or signed. So yeah,
Seems like a
he
big
was
ratio.
he
Well,
was 44th.
this might be a
Think
bigger topic for another day, but I feel increasingly like Swift Power is not so important for racing. Like I think there's a way more people who are getting to racing and stuff with Zwift Racing app and Zwift Racing Score that are just not signing up for Zwift Power.
Okay.
It's bonkers though. The person who finished fourth averaged 4.9, and they're not super light. Like they've averaged 4.7 with a 4.920 watt, 4.920 minute power. That's and they're 68 kilos. That's not super light. It's
No, he averaged 315 watts for the race. So a 40 he did 315 watts, average 45 minutes with a nine what a 632 watt per 632 watt 15-second sprint at the end. At the end of Titan's Reverse, which is probably, his 1 minute power was 548. So he probably did like,
Several of those.
540, 530 for the first minute and 15 seconds or minute of Titan's Reverse, and then did 632 watts at the finish and finished fourth. Not to mention the 383 watt 5 minute 5.6 watt per kilo climb in the first half of the race. Gets
Yeah.
gets a beaster.
Think also watching at the stream, Eric Lee from Don't Get Dropped Cycling, the YouTuber, was also in that race.
Okay. Did he get dropped?
Absolutely.
I was
Yeah,
gonna say, I think
it was about a minute. I think a minute and a half before Craig. I think.
okay. I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I've raced that guy and finished in front of him at least once. So, and bike choice, I think you want like at least Tron, if not like your Pinarello Dogma F with the 62s or 7/8s on it. I wouldn't go full
Yeah,
aero on this one.
yeah, something like that. Good all rounder.
There's actually probably a medium case to be made for something even, well, Dogma F is awfully climby if you put the 62s on it. That's pretty
Yeah.
tough to
Yeah,
get lighter than that. So yeah, I would definitely wouldn't be putting your disc wheels and stuff on because all the break points are steep, short, sharp hills, and the finish is a sh hill.
yeah. Depending where the lower level things are. If you're lower level, I would say like we suggest for HBR, something nuclear uranium, or one of
Yeah.
the canyon arrows are the equivalent for lower level people or beginners of a Pinarello.
Yeah, for you guys, what would your pacing strategy be on that first climb? Like, can you guys? I mean, you're not gonna hold the fastest guys. I don't think I'm gonna hold the fastest guys on that climb as a mid to three-quarters of the way down the pack B1. So, like, do you just ride your pace and try and find your? I guess that's what you do, right? Try and find like some mid C's to hold their wheels and get a group together.
So personally, I'm probably riding max 5 minute pace up the steep part, uh, which is probably 2.5, 2 minutes. So I'm probably going, 4.5 watts a kilo up that uh, until the things start breaking up. I don't think I'm, you know, kicking really hard at the bottom and doing all those things that are likely happening at the front. Uh, but yeah, pushing harder than I'm gonna push for the full like 2K of that climb for the first 500 or 600 meters, whatever it is.
So you come around the bend and it levels off a little before the bridge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if
until
you put
basically until it flattens off for the bridge, I'm pushing hard and seeing where I end up.
And then I guess you just gauge at
yeah, and once the groups are formed, you usually find a group that you can stick together with, and
and then watch and see when you get to hilly reverse if you can either bridge up or break other people off your group or just stick with them. I mean, that's up to you. And then, the finish, it's go for it at the finish. Once
uh,
you're into hilly reverse, just go for it.
Yeah, race one, it looked like well, at least the people on Zwift Power, the last 15 people were not in groups really. Maybe a couple in pairs here and there, but it looked
Yeah.
pretty stretched out.
I think that's
The
probably
It's a really tricky time, this one, isn't it? I think it's quite easy to go too hard and melt yourself and have people fly past you on the kind of grindy bit at the top. So it's that picking that balance between, can I actually hold these folks' wheels, or am I going to burn too many matches and be really far back? So tough one.
yeah,
yeah,
the winner did a 123 Titans.
I do think that the this is probably one that is going to have one of the calmer starts. So I think the first, like, even last week we had, a few K into the first climb, but that first few, like the first 4K was through the intestines, and like things were splitting up. Like in the race that I did, there was a fairly large group of us that were the like platinum amethyst type riders that all got split off, and we just rode into the climb together. I think this one, like, there's not a huge incentive for the stronger riders to be pushing through Ocean Boulevard. So that first, like, there's going to be a kick out of Ocean Boulevard, but like I think most riders should make it to that first climb with the group, um, which hasn't always been the case, I don't think. Like, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Uh,
definitely not an easy course, but it is a good racing course. So, make your race with your people. I think that's the trick.
I guess quick question. Since we are doing this one, this is one of the ZRL um, competition courses, and we raced the a second one. What do you think of the community courses so far?
They're interesting. They're good. Like they're good race. I think the biggest weakness is that they've been put into scratch races when
Yeah,
they're really like that
Yeah.
danger noodle course as a points course would
a
be
hell of a points course.
super interesting.
Yeah.
Super interesting. Especially with like a combination of FTS and FAL like at various points. Like I might even like alternate them or something. You could do some more interesting stuff with it. But like they're good courses for sure. I think same this one has like I guess this one only has really two intermediate like banners you could even really use, and not even then, right? Because of the
Yeah,
the
this one does
aerial.
feel like it could be. This is a good scratch.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They're good. They're good racier courses. Interesting stuff. Lots of interesting features. I have no problems with them.
I can't say much about them because I haven't done Citadel this season. So, and just for reference, looks like there were 82 starters, maybe, but 95 finishers. So if I look at companion app, so that's
59,
44
not
from the
yeah,
59. Yeah.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
the 44 in the 50, like John said, in the 40s, and the versus 60 in game. That sounds about right in disparity.
I didn't do the Danger Noodle one. I did this um, Welsh, the unnamed
The
Welsh
Welsh
route,
one.
the Welsh route. Um, and I really enjoyed it in ZRL, and I wonder if it'll be different. Like, right, ZRL is pretty, you're in the mix. There's always people around you, no matter sort of where you are in that whatever your category is, and I wonder if it's going to take on a different feeling if I'm out in the middle with people 30 seconds in front and behind me, and I'm just pushing up this horrible hill. It'll be interesting. I think I liked it a lot as like the new course, just the newness of it, and you don't really know how to, where the hills are, but then you're like, okay, so that there's good recovery between them. How much recovery is it going to be? And are people going to do silly things in between? Um, I liked it as a course previously. I may decide I don't like it when I race it next.
Oof. Looking at the low wattage, there were a couple of people doing 1.4, 1.5, and there were an hour 20, an hour 23, an hour 27 around that time. So if you're in that lower wattage, this is a long ride.
Good on them.
Good, good. All right, so get it out there, race HWR this weekend, and have fun. Other herd racing news, the Zwift Stampede Challenge continues to be available all February, pardon me. So get out and get your trip on Island Hopper, I'll bug Steve and John because they were signed up for a
Yes.
ride, and uh my dear friend Alan was all ginned up. He goes, look how many people are going to show up, and then only like three of them who'd signed up showed up. He's like, oh dang.
I did my warm up and I realized, oh no. Oh no. This is not race time. This is ride time. So
Yep, fair
I
enough.
will do it.
Yeah, I got to get mine in too, so nobody's judging.
I think
I
maybe with ZRL ending, that might entice a few more riders out for a Sunday or Monday ride.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there's lots of times all week, and if you do get two or three people together, just shoot Alan or I a notice, and we will add one into the club stuff, and you can do it, so you can get out there. And then the
HBR on TikTok
HBR.
this week.
Sorry, pardon me.
Yeah,
So,
end
of
of the
course
month.
we're used to.
How much time should people leave, Steph?
Don't know, but I haven't. I think I haven't read. Don't think Nathan
Give
It's
us
said.
time.
19.2K, so
30, 35 minutes.
yeah.
Good, good. Yeah, I think that's it.
You had one more potential
TikTok Saturday
announcement.
flat course. Yeah, I was just gonna say. I was gonna say that the herd spring chickens age group based racing will be coming for the first week of March. So that first weekend, all the times will be on Saturday and Sunday. There'll be 4 times across the weekend. We're not setting it up for league or anything. Everything is scratch race. That like there will be a league, so you can check your times against other people in the same age as it comes in, but like they're not going to carry over week to week. It's just race that weekend, check your times, and see if you can win your race. The ages are under 40, 40 to 49, 50 to 59, 60 to 69, and then 70 and up, which I think will
And is that
hopefully
going to
even them out.
be running concurrently with HWR? Is this replacing HWR?
HGBR, keep going. It's thing.
Okay,
So this is for your other weekend racing option
great.
for herd. You need
So
to get another
replacing
race on.
Stampede effectively for March.
Replacing, yes, Stampede, Mountain Goats,
All
all
the
the other ones that are all falling off. So
Will it be on the public calendar?
I believe it will. Yep. So hopefully there'll be lots of other people will get promotion on it as soon as we get it out. I've got the graphic here from Maryline and stuff. So I was just
And then scratch racing, points racing, what's
it's all
the
scratch. It's all gonna
vibe?
be
Yeah.
scratch.
All
There's
scratch.
custom power-ups. They might be the same custom power-ups for all 5 weeks. Um, or they may be different for each race. That was the one thing that I'm still not quite clear on how that's all going to shake out. But if they
Custom in
are
terms of power-ups we haven't seen before?
no,
No.
just
Okay.
not the regular 3.
Okay. All right. We
We
got the
we
burritos and the steamrollers thrown in and
yeah,
I was hoping for blue shells.
yeah, me too. We've taken a run at doing like like really custom, like having like a specific setup for each banner and stuff like that. But no, it looks like it's probably going to be draft ban, feather and anvil for sure at everyone on week 1. So the first week is going to be Mayan San Remo
Nice.
is the first
that's a good one.
route. So yeah, just the routes are going to be Mayan San Remo, Caspats, Watopia Waistband, Innsbruck 2018 Worlds, and Neokyo All Nighter, and then Greatest London Flat takes us to the first week of April. So,
Cool.
so that'll be the routes, a little mix of hilly, rolly, flat. Yeah, there's some the times UTC are Saturday 17:20, Saturday 20:45, Sunday 9:50, Sunday 19:50. So kind of a mix of Saturday and Sunday evening, morning, afternoon-ish, depending on what part of the world you're in.
It'll be one pen. We'll see all the not really any
No, so
categories, I
it's
guess.
cat enforced independence. So you're gonna see everybody,
Wow.
but you're only gonna see like on the right-hand side the people you're racing against in your cat. So it's
Oh,
cat.
that'll
So
be
this is the one.
interesting.
This is the one trick is it is now the one thing we're allowed to do and what we can have is category enforcement of the ages. So like,
Yeah.
I can only enter my 40 to 49-year-old category into Pen D. Everyone in
Okay.
Pen D will be in that age, and you'll be able to see on the right-hand side of the screen D, although everyone will be on the, like, as we pull out of the pens, everyone will be on the course.
Got it.
So, you could catch on to a faster rider. I'm not going to
So
say younger
there's
faster because most of the people who are faster than me seem to be older on Zwift, but
so 4 pens. Okay.
five,
5.
A, B, C, D, E. Yeah. So,
Okay.
and it's only like 20 meters, but as I understand it, so we put the 70 and up in pen A, which is the one that comes out closest to the line, and then further
Okay.
back. So the under 40s start the pen E, which are the furthest back.
A few meters
And
extra. Good for them.
So, I guess, theoretically, at least gives those guys a half more chance to catch on to the group as it comes through.
Yeah. Exciting. That
So
sounds like a really fun
those are the
Yeah.
cats 70 plus, 60 plus, 50 plus, 40 plus, and then under 40. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that sounds. I think that's interesting because I think last time we didn't have that cat enforcement, it was figuring out who is in which category, which in your age group. But now it's more clearer now.
Yeah, I think it'll be a little harder. I mean, it was nice in the previous one where you could see if somebody's coming up behind you, you could kind of spin up and try to get in their draft, where now you're just going to have to look at the little dot on the mini map and see, oh, somebody's coming, got to jump on them because you won't have it
That's true.
on
Yeah,
the
you won't
list.
you won't
But
see it on the list.
yeah, fun either way.
Or yeah, I think that's right. You don't see them on the list. That's right.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think it's something different. It's something new. I know people have asked for it a little bit. As like I'll be frank, as someone I think in 40 to 49, I'm pretty much in the core Zwift demographic. I think pretty much between
Yeah.
45 and 65 seems to be the the biggest age group on Zwift. So most of the people I race with are probably in my age group, or maybe they're in the 50 to 59 one. But for sure, I think if you're a 70 and over rider, I think it'll be a real boon. I think that'll be really nice for them. And
Yeah.
the younger folks go smash the heck out of each other.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, the 70 plus riders would still smash the hell out of me.
Some of
Yeah.
them would for sure.
Yep.
Some of them would
Well,
for sure.
Oh yeah, the first
I
round, I
believe
remember
Brent
there
said he's
was
49. Do you say a 49, Brent?
46. I'm in 40 to
46. I was gonna
49
say
category.
the cool air obviously keeps you looking youthful. I wouldn't have said you were 46.
Just I've got the Elizabeth Taylor filter on my Zoom. That's all, Steve. Good. All right, yeah. So that's coming. Keep it though. Like I said, I was just waiting for a little clarity on the power ups, but that'll be coming up, posted on the group, and we'll send it out to get circulated for stuff probably after this weekend, so that everybody gets ready for the next weekend after that. All right, that brings us to the news, and I think the biggest news of the week is the announcement of the 2020-25 Zwift Games. Who wants to?
I mean, I think Sean disagrees with you. I think the biggest news really is the new resting posture for Tron riders. But we
Okay.
can start with the Zwift Games, Brent, if you like.
we got to build up to it.
All right. So
Yeah, so who did everybody race Swift Games last year? Did a few of us? I know I rode a bunch of them, and there was a really good mix of new courses and new
Yeah.
different types of race challenges, which was a fun it was a fun race series with it felt like a good series to actually kind of challenge yourself against a broader like the broader Zwift community, because it did have like a leaderboard on Zwift Power. It actually brought out the best in a lot of riders that I raced with. Actually had some riders in ZRL on the team that were like, hey, watch out in Zwift Games. You might get like a bunch of people got popped for got upgraded between the ZRL season and then the like ZRL playoffs because they raced too hard in Zwift Games. Um, but so this year we are back with, it looks like 5 new stages, and are all 5 of them new routes as well, I think.
There are new
Um,
routes. I think a couple of them are already available as free rides, maybe, but they're all newer rides.
yeah, and so there will be a new challenge where you can just go ride the routes, and get, they have the new mini challenges, so you can get out there and ride the 5 routes, get the challenge done. But there are 5 routes that are increasingly difficult. Starts with a McCurry stage where you start up in Neokio, drop down to um, Wurikazi, and finish down there. You do like it's net downhill. I think that this is one that John was suggesting maybe we do as a TTT course or a TT course. Um, Scotland smash, so has that Scotland feel. But so rolling all over the place. Downtown eruption, which looks interesting. It's got the volcano in the middle and then finishes. Oh, where does that one finish?
I think
Looks
that's
like
KOM forward, hilly KOM forward.
Yeah, hilly
Yeah,
forward.
yeah.
That'll be a fun, interesting one. London Uprising, which has, I think, starts on Fox Hill. You go back down into London, and then it comes back, and you finish on Box Hill. So it's got the 2 kind of shorter climbs. And then the Queen stage looks pretty brutal. 45K with 894 meters of elevation, with Jarvis KOM reverse. You do Mayan and Itza and the top of the grade. And then it finishes with, is that Epic reverse?
yeah,
Yeah. After you finish the
yeah.
Mayan eats the top of the grade, you go down the forward side and just keep going around the loop and come back.
And then the last part of epic reverse. Yeah, you start after the bridge, so you do the epic bypass and
That's
then
right,
up.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I guess you won't get a time on the reverse.
Yeah, so you don't do the
Nope.
full climb, but it is,
Yeah,
still
it's,
a
it's,
hard finish.
it's the hardest part of epic reverse. Still,
Yeah, 5 interesting, difficult courses. Um, it
it
does
is.
have so the Z racing events have had
Yeah,
the
well done.
alternating ZRS band
Yeah,
categorizations,
Like that.
and so this
yeah.
will have that as well. Um, so I will be choosing my category uh, so that I am not like so that I'm in the mid to high range of the group rather than the bottom of a group, which I think is one of the things that is nice about these categorizations. There's a bunch
Team,
of different time slots, like 8 time slots uh, throughout the
I
throughout the
think every
day,
hour, yeah, every hour it seems there's a race,
every couple
24
hours. Yeah.
daily, and then there are a couple of for the advanced, the pros, the 650 plus, and
Oh, yeah,
also
got it.
it seems like 5 slots for women's only race times as well.
Uh, Interestingly, so this is something they didn't really do last year. Last year did have a global um, leaderboard where your times across all of the races counted toward your overall finish placing. There is now an overall, but also a sprint classification, so how well did you do in races 1 and 2, a climb classification, which is stages 3 and 4, and then an epic classification, which is just how well you did on that longer race. And one of the things that Brent noted when we first noticed this was it looks like the results are going to be on the Zwift website rather than on Zwift Power. So I'm sure that the results will go on to Zwift Power by race. But what is really going to matter is they are demoing, it seems like, a Zwift website integration of race results. And so I would expect that this is their first foray into bringing the results and class, like all of that stuff, into the Zwift.com website itself. And, hopefully it goes well.
It would be a good testing run. Also, a couple of rules that steering and braking disabled is used, like a lot of things, but also neutralized equipment. So every frame and every wheel performance is neutralized. So you can go on a buffalo bike or a safety bike or your fastest, whatever the coolest, the setup you want to. You can choose your setup, what you want, which for you is the coolest, and maybe in a normal race would be less than advantageous, but it's equalized. So,
and I think I saw that everybody gets the same power up from the start of the race as well, so you don't pick up new power ups.
I wonder if that's the right choice. It seems an odd choice. I think we like our power ups, right? I think that makes the race kind of interesting when people use them. And
I think the elite and higher level racers don't feel
Don't
quite
like
the same
them.
way about that.
no, right, yeah, I could see it for them, sure, because
But
I'm playing a video game, man.
Right, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I do for this one series, I like having the everything is like your equipment doesn't matter, the random number generator doesn't matter. It's just get out there and race.
What do we think about the Zwift.com move then? Because, I mean, at the moment, race results are pretty impenetrable. Uh, in Zwift, I've got to click events, which is slightly confusing. Then I get a feed of everyone, so I kind of usually have to filter just me. Then I have to find my event and I have to scroll through a load of stuff, and I finally find the results. Like Zwift Power, I go to my profile, it lists my rides. I click on the ride. Like it's a really smooth process. So be interesting to see if they tweak Zwift.com and how that presents it all.
As someone who's done like chasing and ladder and all this stuff, I find actually results are like you say that, Steve, but honestly, that's not like if you do anything that's other than maybe some herd stuff or whatever, like those results now are all over the map in all kinds of places, right? Even like WTRL, like you do Zwift Racing League, the results on the Zwift Power are practically meaningless. So, um, they're already all over the map everywhere. So, like for Zwift to do their stuff on something else, I hope they do it right and that it's like the test case for them bringing universal. I guess we'll see all the little independent um guys what they end up doing and stuff. But if there becomes like one universal racing output site that we all go to get them, I'm behind that. And if this is the test to do it, yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I just hope they make the UI a bit more penetrable. That they, if I think about WTRL, maybe not so much that's a bit pokey, but like FRR is really easy. Like ladder's pretty easy to see the results. Like these other websites do results presentation a lot better than Zwift do at the moment. So hopefully they can look at those guys and learn from them.
Yeah, it's this is a bit of a digression from all this, but so chasing is now called ERCO, something like that, I think. And they are moving to charging a fee to participate.
I
So
heard
if
that.
you want to show up in the results, or you want your team to not get DQ'd, everybody who races it's got to pay, like it's $7 a year, so it's not that much money. But um, that type of thing, I think when you're looking at something like Zwift starting to do their own results thing, I don't know how sustainable that's going to be, because that all depends on like that Zwift API coming out, which I think is largely a result of Zwift being a little bit knowing that their results output into Zwift Power that they've bought is not super good. But I'm not sure that if Zwift gets their stuff, their house in order, that they're going to be so keen on their API going to third-party charging service providers.
Yeah.
So
Uh,
I,
it is so. I guess good timing for bringing up the ECRO. That does lead into there are now um, three additional big series that are starting soon. So the dirt racing series that we've talked about on here, there have been teams that are forming and formed. And if you hear this and you're still looking for a team, I'm sure post on the Facebook, and I'm sure a team will pick you up if they've got space. I
Oh,
know that
also,
my team's full, but um, the
and and just if you don't find a team, you can always, I think, join the Discord and fill in a form for that you're searching for a team. If there's uh,
the ECRO World Tour is, running from March through October. There's races, but the first race will be the Chasing Bianchi on March 8th. So running in concurrently with Strada Bianchi, um, followed by which one is Chasing d'Azur? Is that
it's probably Paris-Nice, I
yeah, I think that's
assume.
Paris-Nice. So like all of these, all the classics ones are going to be starting soon. And then we've been we've focused on this every year as it's come out. But the Iceni Women's Series begins on March 4th with a series of 4 races. Um, and I think that this I think that those are a mix of race types. At least they have been in the past.
Looks like they're all scratch, but on very different courses.
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was going
Yeah,
to say
it,
too.
it, it just points based on their finishing position.
Yeah. But yeah, so
Yeah.
the women's series 4 weeks starting on March 4th, 4th through the 25th.
Oh, yeah, and also Steve is doing it. FRR keeps chugging out their tour, their crazy bunker tours.
Yeah, there's just you can feel like the end of ZRL, like, as I know there's still finals in ZRL and stuff coming, but you can feel um that it's over, and there's still a little bit of bad weather here in the end of February to April for a lot of North America. So there's tons of different racing things that they want to fit in over the next 8 weeks, basically. So there's lots of options, more than
Yeah,
you could
I
ever
feel like
possibly
this
do.
is maybe the busiest racing, like in terms of series, this might be the busiest time of year because everything finishes for ZRL and now it's like let's go.
Yeah, the communities are doing setting their series up.
Yep. 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 So yeah, lots of different options and lots of them are team based. So if you got other herd riders that you're in with, then by all means group up, get in there and knock it out of the park. Have fun. All right. And I think that brings us to round the horn.
But you forgot the
Oh,
biggest.
oh yes. All
Mm.
right. Sorry. All right, go ahead, Sean. Why don't you describe the newest, biggest improvement to Zwift release yet?
So a few weeks ago, we mentioned some silly things that we would like to see in game, and nobody mentioned that when you stop your bike, uh, you just kind of lean over and you just hunched over your handlebars. It turns out that the Zwift was on top of it before we even realized we realized we were missing a thing, which is the new Tron resting posture. A nice you stop on your Tron, and now you've got a nice power stance, uh, hands on the hips, standing up with your with one of the feet in the pedals and the other on the ground, just ready to go.
Still no pedal on the other side. Oh no.
It did say that this was put in place to prepare for a new bike coming to the game soon,
Oh.
which
A bike that you can't use
A
the handlebars
unicycle?
on?
oh, that would be interesting.
Oh, there was a release of like the trike, like the big wheel, that they do on what is it, Halloween or April Fool's Day. They've used the trike where you're kind of riding along and it's got the really wide handlebars. And
Yeah, and I can
I've
see
seen,
how you can't lean over that one, right? To sit on, so they gotta come with a new pose, right? You gotta stand up.
yeah, but they've also got a Tron version of that. I saw, I think it was Eric Schlange looked at where the it's a it's a bicycle. It doesn't have two rear wheels. But it's got a big Tron front wheel. Um, and I don't know if that's actually released or it's something that he was just
So my guess is that this is actually about the garage update that
oh
is coming in the Halo bikes. I'm betting that this is all related to that. They had initially said that that was coming in fall of last year, but I'm guessing that this is okay, we're finally getting there. We really and the whole reason for the delay was they needed the animation for the stop pose uh, done before they could really release the garage update.
Hmm. I think you're probably right. I'll be honest. I have spent so little time looking at my dude when he stopped. Like if I'm not pedaling, I'm usually looking at something else or I've got the menu open or whatever else. So
or you're
until
staring
like
at
I
the
had to
ceiling
like
because you're laying on the floor trying to
yeah.
breathe.
So I mean I tell someone sort of I had to like go look at the animation thing to be like, what exactly does your dude do when you stop? I could never really thought about it.
This is one area in Zwift where the runners have been ahead of the game because they've got like when you stop running, they do all kinds of like they do toe touches and they pull up one leg and do calf
They're stretching.
stretches. Yeah, they're always stretching when they're not moving.
Just like you're stopped at a traffic light.
Yeah,
That's how I do it when I'm running.
yeah, yeah.
Also, I was looking at the update where it's supposed for the for the Tron resting phase. It seems they're also making an elevation display sensitive for the hot setting. So now the elevation that pops up, you can set it to normal, low, or as they describe it, see it less often, but you can also turn off the elevation display. So if you don't want the elevation popping up at all, you can switch it off.
Well,
Let's
that's
see.
actually a good improvement. I mean, I think in racing I would like it on still because I do find it helpful, but I could definitely see in free rides turning that off because it does take up some screen real estate for, you
Yeah.
know. I don't need to know with
Yeah,
each detail where the
yeah,
elevation
and
is.
if they don't know what the actual cutoff is between normal and low for climbs, it will show up properly for both. But what's the the marker? If it's certain length, certain percentage, it doesn't show it. So but yeah, potentially quality of life improvement for some because they don't like having the profile up all the time for each and every bump in the road.
Good, good. All right, round the horn. Steve, we're gonna let you introduce this one because it was your topic. So you're
Yeah,
ready.
I think, I mean, kind of, we don't, there are certain things we don't talk about, aren't there, in some of our groups? I think, yeah, politics, eh? Isn't it fun? But it just made me think, actually, kind of, with all this talk of how different people are and how everyone hates each other. I thought it'd be nice to talk about reasons we come together and how cool it is we come together on Zwift and do really like random groups of people come together and do this single bike riding and have fun and enjoy each other's company. So yeah, just thought we'd talk about nice things and nice people we've met through the wonderful game at Swift, really. Steph, you had a good example from this week, I think, didn't you?
Yeah, I have a couple of. Like I said, stepping down as a ladder captain, but going. We'll also do an example from that, but decided to try to do the Thursday TTTs back on the regular. Just also have training and learning to be in a group efficiently. But yeah, I don't know. I've done it in the past, but it's such a delight, especially if there's a good, clear communication between the team and encouragement. And it's always fun that your teammates are always encouraging you to keep pushing, but also like I said, clear communication. We're a group of five, and just saying, "I'm gonna take this pool till that period," or something like that, or "Oh, there's a downhill coming up. You can." The people in the back can catch up a bit, or really, yeah, I think it's very positive. And as I said, stepping down as ladder captain, but yeah, as I announced it, there's been many riders on the Speedy Squirrels team, but yeah, the appreciation that you see from the regular riders to me as a captain for the work I do for it. As we said it many times, every captain that's put in work, the riders appreciate what's been done by certain people on certain teams. So yeah, it's nice camaraderie all around.
Nice. Uh, Sean or John, you guys want to go next?
I have some thoughts. I think I talked about this before, just the whole idea of community, and I guess I'm intrigued by what is community, right? Like I think in the olden pre-internet days, it meant the people you lived near, or maybe your family in slightly distant towns. But now the community can really mean anything. And I think at least when I came to Zwift, I was like, oh, there's this whole community out here of other people who they like bike riding and they like bikes, and that was really fun to find. And then I found the racing community, which was a subset of that, and all very positive and supportive. Like, I mean, there's some banter about maybe pre-race banter about people. About what they're going to be doing in the race. Take it easy on me. Oh, we respect you too much for that. But I think it's good natured banter. And I think there's a lot of good respect. And then the other thing I think just came up recently, trying to figure out how to structure this without outing anybody. But I was on a group ride, and on Discord, there was a frequent Discorder who hadn't been on for a while, and they had a pretty bad medical scare in the last few weeks. And it turned out another person on Discord had gone through this whole process a couple years earlier, so they could kind of share their recovery process and what that looked like and what their timelines were, and was free to, was really generous sharing all of those sort of experiences and everything. And I think there was a lot of value in that, as for especially for this person who was like, well, I just had you know problems, and then here I am, post surgery now, and it was kind of crazy. And so I think that was really heartwarming to see. And yeah, I don't know. I continue to marvel that I talk to people all over the planet and about this one thing we all love, and I think it's a little respite from the headlines, certainly, of the national news.
Or international in some cases.
Yeah, yeah.
You mean
This
Well,
there's
once
news
we
beyond
own
the
you, Brent, it'll be different. But
there's news beyond the Tron pose? I
yeah,
just obviously didn't get that far down my news. Sean, how about you?
this is good timing given that I'm wearing my herd mentality shirt today. Um, so I feel like in particular, so racing, great. The herd racing community has been great. The thing in particular that I think that has made it great is the teams. Like you get the small teams.
yeah.
You race with them consistently. You get to know the people. And I've been doing this. I've been doing, ZRL in particular since I think it was 2021. Was that the first year? Maybe 22. I think it was 21.
I think it's 21.
So we're like 3.5 years into essentially team-based racing, and I have built a pretty extensive group of people that I have raced with on teams, and you keep seeing, the same types of people in Herd Winter Racing and Herd Summer Racing League. So you get a good sense of like, here are the people that I feel like I could ride with, against, whatever. And just even trying to put together a team for dirt racing series, I didn't even really need to, start reaching out to the broader community as a whole, because I already knew who most of the people that would likely be ready to race and want, be excited to hop in. It was just like, hey, and there were several people that I don't know personally. I haven't raced on teams with them, but I just like pulled up ZR.app and looked at who are the herd amethyst and platinum riders, and just like, all right, that's my list of names, and I'm just gonna start emailing, because or start doing a Facebook chat with all these people and see who's interested, because I'm not actually, the I know that the community is broad enough that we're, I'm gonna be able to put together a team, um, and they're gonna see it this way rather than um, you know, putting something on the Facebook page and hoping. Um, but it turns out that like for the team, I don't know, of the 8 that ended up being the team, I think like 6 or 7 are people that I have raced with across various teams, ladder teams, ZRL teams, both in B and C. Yeah, so I think that the teams aspect of it is really the broader community is great, but I think it's great because of the smaller community of group rides, of the teams, and getting out and racing and chatting with the people that yeah, that you're going to be interacting with.
Yeah, I think I'll just have it, and I'll say, I mean, as much as I loathe to say the Facebook Messenger stuff, which just seems to be the default platform based on, I don't know, internationalism or something like that. But like the 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 group chats that come from the teams are remarkable. And I mean,
Mm.
we used to be in the bidets when it was all good fun, and then I had to switch to more North American evening stuff, and now I'm in one with the herd of Griffins and one with the herd of Mustangs and one with the herd of Randos, which is the latter team, and it's about 75% the same between any one of them, I think, actually. But I mean, we talk about the dumbest nonsense, and it's also good natured, and we're all from, all over Canada and the United States for the most part. I don't, there might be one that has like an Aussie in it or something like that, but I don't think there's too many Europeans in it just because of the time of when we race. But yeah, it's just a group of people that share like an interest. We get on the Discord and we chat, for an hour during our races. But the group chats are so funny and just good spirited about everything. It's just a remarkable relief. I mean, I should probably have like less notifications on for a lot of them, but inevitably, I'm usually pretty happy to see it come across and see what somebody's talking about, and just it's entertaining. It's a good way to connect with people, and I'm usually happy. So yeah, if you're I know not everybody has time, and stay off your phone as much as you can, all those sorts of things. But if you're in a team and you guys don't have one yet, you should definitely get a group chat and have fun with it, because it is just it's those things in between that makes the suffering on the bike really worthwhile, right? Is you're all just
Mhm.
sharing that stuff otherwise. So yeah, I totally agree.
I've been wowing people in my office with my knowledge of curling.
You don't know what a bond
Yeah,
spiel was?
yeah. Had a little
There you go.
quiz of what people thought a bond spiel was.
Yeah, well, that's our Pink Tron group chat, which is even more like, I mean, if you think your team group chat is eclectic, you have no idea. Like, I know we're like
Right.
going like 3 layers of inside baseball here, but the Pink Tron group chat in any given day will cover, yeah, topics from apparently brake lines in cars to um curling to BMX to I don't know what I mean. It is. I mean, I know John last week said it, but yeah, we just get into a little bit of everything in there. Bike racing stuff, like those donkeys crashing at the finish line, and whether or not he bike had failed or he was riding over a speed bump or whatever, and then the other guys
Driving
who
the
couldn't
wrong
get down
way.
the right side of the road. I mean, it's all good fun.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I kind of echo what everyone says. And what made me think of it was this week, much like John, this idea there's a bunch of random people across the world that are in the herd FRR group, and Ben Poynton's just joined, and everyone's just super encouraging, super friendly, and kind of just like really encouraging each other to do this ridiculous amount of riding that we'll be doing over the next week.
Mm.
Um, and just lovely. And it just kind of reminds you kind of there's lots of people from different places, different backgrounds, but just united by a common love of riding bikes in sheds and chasing pixels, really, which is just really nice, isn't it?
It is very nice. And I think on that note, we will say thank you to Steve Pritchard. Thank you to Steph Jen. Thank you to Sean Fogenberg. Thank you to John Keenan. Thank you to everybody listening at home. Thank you to everybody doing their herd races this weekend. Everybody on unpronounceable Welsh course. We'll just go with that. And enjoy your races this weekend, everybody. Moo and good night.